In this video, we'll try to optimize the calculator app. So we'll add a couple of additional buttons and couple of additional features into this program. Let's get started. The first thing we want to add is a decimal point. So we'll go to text box, toolbox, select a button and drag and drop here. Okay, similar to how we did for the previous buttons, we'll update it. The text will be a dot which represent a decimal point, and in name field as well we'll put a dot. So it will be button, we'll just put a dot. Okay, so now we'll double click on this, and as before we will just do a text box dot text, and then the other way to append is add a plus equal to and then put the dot. Okay, so we'll quickly run it. Okay, so we have this application. So what we can do now, we can click on 1 2, then we can put some decimal point and we can add the value there. So when we put decimal point and we are again trying to put some decimal point, it allows us, but that should not be the case, right? Because when we put decimal point, this doesn't represent a number, 2 decimal points, so we have to fix that. How we can fix that? So now as we have decimal point, then we have to first update this value as well, because integer only contain integer value. So now as we are trying to add decimal values, so we'll make it decimal, and then second value will also be a decimal, and this one, the answer should also be a decimal. Okay, so we'll first check if text box dot text dot contains, we'll check if it contains a dot. Okay, so if contains a dot, then we do not want to add another decimal point. We will make it negation to say if there is no decimal point already present, then only add this. So if we go and click on start, now if we put some value and dot and some other value and try to click on dot, it will not allow you to put an additional dot. Okay, the first value, when we click on any of the operations, right? So for now we are converting it into integer 32. This will discard the values which are present after the decimal point. So this also we need to update. So we have to update it to uh, decimal dot parse. Okay, so we have to pass it to decimal value. So here also we'll put it as a decimal. Decimal and decimal. Okay, okay, so now answer will be on decimal value, so we'll quickly check it. So we'll put 123.3 plus 2.5, let's say. So it will be 1.25.8. Okay, so okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to display the value that we already have entered and the operation we have phrased. So for that, what we have to do, we'll just bring this little bit down so that we have some place for that values. So we'll go to toolbox and for now we'll add one label there. So this label will contain, okay, so we'll just remove the text from that label. It will be blank at present. Then uh, we'll make it label 1 is fine for now. So what will happen whenever we click an operation, the existing values should go up, and then we should see the plus symbol there. So how we can do, let's say button plus, what we will do, we know the operations, right? So first we will take the label dot text is equal to, we'll add this value, then we'll concat it, we'll just give a space, and as this is a plus, so we'll put a plus here. Okay, similarly we'll just copy this. Okay, let's quickly run and check. So 125 plus then 32, so this should be 157. Okay, and one more thing we want to do is, we do not want this number to be present here in this uh, left hand side, we want it in the right hand side. So how we can do that, you can just click on this text align, we'll make it as right. Okay, now when we click on the answers equal to, what we want to do after we get the answers in the text box, we just want to update the label 1 dot text is equal to blank. So now we can see 1 2 plus 3 equal to 15. Okay, so we can see the implementation we have done has lot of methods, so this is occupying a lot of method, and many redundant code we have written. So for example, for inserting all the numbers, we have written a separate line of code. So this can be simplified by just writing a single method. I'll quickly show that how we can do that. So let's create a simple method. Whenever we click on any of the button, that button click event will trigger this method, and based on the sender, the actual button, we will try to get the text property of this button and try to update the text. Okay, so to do that, what we can do, we can get the sender. So sender is a button type, so we'll just have a button class. Okay, so we'll put button, right, and so then what we can do, we can simply use this statement, and now in place of 1, what we can write, we can just do button dot text. So the text property of button will be assigned here. Now we have to assign this method to the events. So whenever we click on any of the elements, if we go to the property pane, we have this lightning symbol. So if we click on this lightning symbol, we will see all the events that this button provides. So we can see we have this click event already defined. So the defined is button 1 underscore click that we already had implemented. But now what we will do, we will use a same method for all the buttons. So here first we'll take this button click. Similarly for 2 as well. So for dot also, let's do it as button click. But for this one, we need to update the code a little bit. So before entering here, we need to see if the button dot text equals, if it's a dot and text box dot text dot contains this, then we do not want to add that into the text, so we just want to go out of it. So to simply go out of it, what you can do, you can type return. Okay, we run it. So you can put 1 2 3. See, this is working. Then it will not allow us. Okay, now these methods that we wrote, we can just simply delete these methods. We can just go ahead and delete all these methods. Okay, so one more thing we can do, we can update the operations as well. See, these are also repetitive tasks. Only this button has been added and operation has been added, right? So this also can be add into a single method. So let's do one thing. Let's for operations, we'll make a button operation method. So button click, and then we'll just make one. Okay, so we'll just copy this part. Here we'll write. So we'll get first the button as well. So we'll just copy this from here. I don't like writing much code, so I used to copy more. Okay, so we'll put a conditional here. So let's put a switch sketch. So we'll put a switch. So switch will check the button text property of button. Okay, and say case. If it is let's say plus, what we'll do? We will first thing this we will do for every operations, so this can go directly there. We'll update this. Okay, so then we'll just break from here. So in case it's a minus, what we'll do, we'll do operation for minus. We have added 2 and default. We'll just break from here. Okay, and then we'll mark the text box as this. Okay, after this we'll go to design and just change the operators event to operations event. Okay, operation event. Okay, so we have observed that we have one method for text change method that actually not required. So what we can do, we can just remove it from here. So in that way we can be able to remove it from the code as well, otherwise it will give us an error. So you can just simply remove it from here. Similarly, as these methods are no longer needed, we can delete it. But first we have to delete it from the UI, from the event section of the property. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, now we'll just see. So 75. So let's do one thing. Let's move it a little bit aside, and we'll just put one button there. We'll go to toolbox. We'll drag another button, and we will make it C. we have selected the button. If we go to the properties, then this button is the property button, and then this one was the event button. So we'll go to property button, and here in text we'll just put a capital C, which specifies uh, clearing of everything from this. So we'll change the name to button clear. Okay, and then we'll just double click on it to make the text box 1 to text equal to empty. Okay, okay, you can just clear it out. Plus 6 331, clear it out, and we can